All right, welcome back to Off Track. This is the second episode. Got me, Joshua Sparks.
And I'm Jordan Blake.
Yeah, man. It's been fun, man.
Yeah,
We got a second episode.
So second episode.
They didn't cancel us.
No, well, I mean, you can't cancel it. It literally just started today.
Yeah.
So good segue into that. We now have our official channel launch that happened on August 21st. Is today? August 21st.
Yep.
We had 3 episodes come out at 9 a.m. on August 21st. It is the first episode of Off Track. So if you haven't seen that yet, go ahead and go check it out. We also had the first episode of Brokers in Focus with Shane and Gray. And then we also have your other channel.
Yeah, What the Fayetteville?
Welcome to Fayetteville.
Welcome to Fayetteville.
Yeah, Welcome to Fayetteville.
Look,
we kept going back and forth on what we wanted to call it.
No, there's been so many names out there that I forget. I mean, even Shane and Gray's, I was like...
I kept calling it Brokers in Charge for the longest time by accident. And I even put that in the file name when I was editing it. And when I posted it on YouTube, I almost went with Brokers in Charge. I was like, shit.
Well, I thought it was 50 Shades of Gray, or
50
Shades of Gray for a long time.
It's because it was originally Brokers in Focus, and then I came up with I didn't know they came up with the name, so I threw that out because I thought it was funny. And then throughout the whole first pilot episode, they kept joking about doing that. It
was pretty good, man. I actually listened to it this morning.
Yeah,
it was a good.
Yeah, it was definitely good. I'm very excited. We have another. We have a bunch of guests lined up for your show.
Yes, we do.
The one that we actually recorded already. Unfortunately, you weren't part of it, but Gray and Ricky were part of it, and they did an interview with Dan Elzer.
It was fantastic. Yeah, Gray stepped in for me. My son had dental surgery.
Yeah.
So I had to take care of that, but. Yeah, it was awesome. Dan Elzer is amazing. If you haven't heard him, you need to listen to him. He is a fantastic when it comes to real estate. He's one of the smartest men I know as far as training, getting guys, agents, I should say, from that $1 million level all the way up to like $5 to $10 million. Awesome guy.
Yeah, really good. Really good contact to boost your career.
Yeah, he's down in Florida. I mean, he travels to New Zealand, trains people all over the world. He's amazing. And he used to own an ERA down in Florida too. So
okay.
There's a little background for that.
Very nice. Yeah, but interview went great. The editing was a little bit weird because I had to pull it off of a Zoom meeting, and every time Ricky and Grace spoke, it would switch over to them. Yeah. So I couldn't have both screens up at once because you would just see a really the laptop's point of view, really crappy camera of just them in the center of the screen. So I just kind of went back and forth, but I think it went out well.
It looked good from because you
got to see it ahead of time.
I saw a little bit before,
but that is the third episode to Welcome to Fayetteville. So that will come out in a few weeks. So guys, stay tuned for that. And you already have a bunch of other people lined up. We've
got Michelle that's going to be the general manager over at the Woodpeckers. We might have her and Sam and a couple of players. But Mr. Wilder from ERA Wilder is going to be on there. He's He's the owner of, like I said, ERA Wilder down in South Carolina. I think he goes from, I want to say, Charleston all the way to Greenville. Pretty much the whole state of South Carolina is him. I've had the pleasure of meeting him out in California. Built a great relationship with him. I speak to him, at least try to speak to him 1 or 2 times a month. He's just a wealth of knowledge. He's been doing this forever, just like my mom. They've had that relationship, and he's just somebody that I've always gravitated towards, especially when you see him, the way he carries himself. He's always dressed nice. He's always kept clean. He's very professional, and just smart, really smart and willing to help. And that's a big thing is in this field. A lot of people don't want to help you. They want it's all cutthroat. But the good thing with ERA and the relationships we've had with them is, I can call any of these owners. I mean, hell, I can call the president of ERA, and he'll pick up the phone and answer any questions I might have. So I'm looking forward to it, and I don't want to talk any more real estate, though.
Yeah, let's go ahead.
I got that coming up. With Ricky.
We'll let the other podcast kind of handle that because the 3 subjects that I want to talk about today. Let me know if there's any differences that you want. I know the one that we mentioned in the first the pilot episode is that you wanted to talk about politics. I wanted to continue our conversation about comic book related things because I'm a big nerd.
Yeah.
But the third thing, I wanted to take a moment to talk about a new game that just came out because I was playing it last night.
Is this the one you showed me yesterday?
I don't know if it was the one I showed you yesterday. Maybe. I think so.
The Monkey King?
Yes. Wukong. So what subject you want to start with?
Ah, man, I'm good. Whatever. If you're feeling good about that, I mean, I got some stories that I was wanting to tell a little bit, and
you want to start us off?
We can do some politics. We can do video games. We can do. I mean, we got the wrestling. We got that covered the last one.
Yeah, let's get the no wrestling today. Let's get the video game thing out of the way just because like I can be very quick with that because I don't know how long the politic thing might just take the entire episode. So there was a game that came out and it's called Black Myth Wukong. It just dropped yesterday on August 20th. I bought it immediately because I've been hyped for this game for about like 4 years now. Yeah, 4 years. Because 4 years ago, there was like 13 minutes of gameplay footage that was just leaked onto the internet. And the story I heard is that it was leaked. Everybody saw it, including me, like immediately. Everybody blew it up. Everybody thought it was insane because it looked awesome. And then the creators put out an apology saying it's like, hey, this was leaked. It wasn't meant to be. We promise it's going to look a lot better than this. It was like, what are you talking about? It looks incredible. I thought this was going to be released like this year.
Right.
But no, they still give it another 4 years to make sure everything looks nice and clean. I played just the first chapter of the game yesterday, and it was incredible. Difficult game. Very difficult. But if you guys are a fan of mythology, especially Chinese mythology for the character Sun Wukong, if you're not familiar with them, Goku from Dragon Ball is based off of Sun Wukong. And in the legend, there's like so many different things that he can do. And this game really, really like showcases that. Like one thing that's neat about him is that every single bit of him is magical, including every strand of hair. So there's a lot of times he plucks his hair and then it can transform in anything it wants. So the staff that he uses, which is a staff that can grow to like infinite length, he can like turn into a piece of hair and then just like stick it back. So it's like easy access for weapons. He has like a 72 transformations where he can just turn into a bunch of different animals and creatures and mythological stuff. He's immortal, like several. I love the story because he, like one form of immortality wasn't good enough for him. That he ended up like drinking an elixir of immortality. He ended up doing something that gave him immortality. My favorite one, he literally erased his name from death's list.
Now, how do you do that?
I don't know. But it's just like the most bizarre, overpowered kind of mythological creature. And like he can grab like a few strands of his hair and then like blow them and then they all turn into clones of him. You can do that in the game.
That's pretty cool.
There's like some bosses, like there are many bosses that you can beat, and then you can actually turn into them. It is so freaking fun, but it is so freaking hard. Like I was getting my ass handed to me by a bear that caught on fire, and I couldn't. It took me like 15 to 20 tries to beat him, but then again, I suck at video games. So, but fun game, Black Myth Wukong. If you guys want to challenge in a very, very, very good game, try it out. I think it's on all. It should be on both consoles. It's not like console exclusive, but super fun. All right.
Yeah. So since we're on the video game talks, I feel like we should just go ahead and give our top 5 real quick. Of
top 5 games.
Yeah. We'll alternate snake draft style.
Okay. Start us off. You came up with the idea. You start us off.
Yeah, that's a good one. If I'm going number one video game that I've played of all time, and
see, I don't know if I can do top 5, so I'll just say like my favorite games I've played.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, right now I'm playing NCAA, but I'm not gonna go with my favorite. That's not my favorite.
I know what my number 1 is.
You do.
Actually,
if you do, go ahead.
Shoot, I might have a few number 1s now. Okay, so my number 1 for the longest time was it came out on November 11, 2011. Skyrim. Elder Scrolls Skyrim. I love that game. I love everything about the game. Every time I go back to play it, I get a new experience. The mod community is really fun. I'm still waiting for Elder Scrolls 6, but Bethesda thinks it's a good idea to make other games. And Elder Scrolls 6 was announced and confirmed like years ago. I'm talking like 3-4 years ago, and we haven't heard anything since, and we're all upset about it.
You know, I've never played that game.
It's very fun. I will say it's not for everybody, and it has a lot of its own problems, but it's just like I've been playing it since I was a kid. It holds a special place in my heart.
And see that, and like that's why I was kind of going back and forth on it, is because I really liked Assassin's Creed. Like, I love those games. I love them.
What's the best one? What's your favorite?
Odyssey, because I love Greek
Oh,
mythology.
you love the newer ones.
Yeah.
Okay.
But I like the older ones too.
Yeah.
But as far as an experience and enjoying and playing the game and keep playing it over and over, even when the stories are just like getting kind of repetitive, that was the one.
Yeah.
For me.
See, the one that I enjoyed the most, I didn't play a lot of the newer ones because when they started doing that RPG mechanic where, like, if I can't assassinate somebody because I'm not a high enough level, it ruins it for me.
Yeah,
that ruins the immersion. It's weird. Like, in the earlier games, the tougher enemies are the ones that when you actually go into a fight with, they just have a lot of armor, so it just takes more hits, and they have, like, heavy weapons so they can deal more damage, and that's it.
Yep.
But you can still assassinate them in one shot because you're an assassin.
Yep.
They're all human. Like there's no like level. It ruined it for me. Also, that's what later on is when they started having the story was just kind of thrown out the window, and they were just like, what's the next cool thing we can do? But my favorite one was definitely either Brotherhood or Assassin's Creed 3.
The Brotherhood one was good. I did like that one.
But I think my favorite one has to go to Assassin's Creed 3 with the American Revolution.
Yeah, I remember that one.
So good.
I played that one.
So good.
But as far as like, I like the American Revolution storyline, but it's just that Greek mythology. I don't know what it is about it.
I'm a huge fan of Greek mythology, so I get it. Like my dog's name is Thanatos. So.
And I played the Viking one, but Valhalla, whatever.
Valhalla, yeah.
It just wasn't. I wasn't a fan.
I took one look at that game and I was like, I just want to play God of War instead.
Yeah, I mean, it just wasn't for me. I like sports games, but as far as like, I always love Modern Warfare 2.
Oh yeah, Modern Warfare 2 is like one of the most legendary games ever.
And then Gears of War, love Gears of War. We talked about that before. And I love the storyline in Gears of War. Like,
Gears of War is very.
We used to play the campaign before we even played multiplayer. I mean, that's how good it was. That's how, I mean, Gears of War 1 and Gears of War 2, those storylines, I don't think you can. And I've always wanted them to make a movie or a TV show out of that.
Gears of War.
I think it would be awesome.
I'm too afraid of them making video game movies because.
Well, I mean, some of them have been pretty good.
Not all of them.
I mean, Mario was pretty good.
Mario was good, but there's like they're starting to make some good ones. Like I thought the Sonic one was great.
Yeah.
But
Sonic was good.
There's just been a lot that they've done that has not, like, if you look up some of the like the top 10 like lowest rated movies on like Rotten Tomatoes, like at least 5 of them are video game movies. I kid you not. One of them's a Street Fighter, the other one's Resident Evil.
I remember that Street Fighter movie. That was terrible.
Yeah, and then the most and now that's on that list, which is one of the most recent ones, which is one of my favorite video games ever, Borderlands 2.
I saw it tanked big time.
And then the Borderlands movie came out. I mean, I knew it was going to tank as soon as they showed the cast.
Kevin Hart was in it.
Yeah, Kevin Hart as Roland made absolutely, like, there's something wrong with every single choice that they had. The only one that actually looked the part that would work was the one that played as Tiny Tina. I can't remember her name. She's the one that played as like young Ahsoka Tano in the recent Ahsoka show. But no, she's a great actress. But I feel like the writing and the directing was just primarily the writing, because it was like one writer who took care of it, and then it ended up like going to another guy, and he rewrote it and completely trashed it. Can't remember his name, so I'm not gonna just randomly throw names out. But her character was completely rewritten, and she acted like nothing like the lovable character from the game. So the casting wasn't really the problem for that part. But the casting was terrible for everything else. Like they're literally having women who are like 50, 60 years old playing like characters that in the game are like 22 to 25. So everybody was like, why would you do that? And then Roland is supposed to be a very serious, like, tall, hate to say it, but tall, strong, stern leader.
Right.
And then they got Kevin Hart, which I heard that he didn't make every single thing a joke in the movie. He actually, like, because he can do, like, nothing against Kevin Hart. He can do serious roles. Yeah. But I'm so sorry. It's just like when I see Roland in the game, it's like Kevin Hart was not the first thing that came. Like, if you wanted to get a famous, like, they even got Jack Black to do the voice of Claptrap. I'm like, if you're wanting to just grab random famous people to throw it in, Idris Elba would have been great for Roland. freaking Terry Crews would have been great for
I
Roland.
love Terry Crews.
Yeah, they would have been great,
Love
and they
Terry
actually fit like the
The
character
model,
a
yeah.
little bit more, especially Terry Crews. I think Terry Crews would have been perfect for that. Or I mean, if you're gonna have that same cast of people that you put in every freaking movie nowadays, Dwayne Johnson would have been better. I'm surprised that they didn't make him Brick. Like in the original Borderlands games, there's 4 Vault Hunters. There was Roland, Lilith, Brick, and Mordecai. In this movie, there was no Brick and Mordecai. That immediately made me think this movie's gonna suck. How do you not have 2 of the original 4 Vault Hunters? And then the 2 that you do have are heavily miscasted. And also, love Jamie Lee Curtis. Should not have been Tannis. Like if you're a fan of the Borderlands games, then you probably already know all this stuff. But like, yeah. And then the CEO of Gearbox, the creators of the Borderlands franchise, keeps defending the movie on Twitter, and a lot of people keep roasting him about it. And he's one of those CEOs that doesn't know how to just like take his foot out of his mouth. So he seems all like cocky, and a lot of people are not happy with him right now. But Borderlands 4 just got announced, so
I did see
yay!
that. I did see that.
So we know nothing about it. It just showcased like some weird like planetary like explosion and meteors falling on something, and like some weird like robotic alien hand was grabbing a mask, turned it around, and you saw it was the Psycho mask, and then it said Borderlands 4, and we're like, whoa! Don't know anything about it. Borderlands 3 could have been better, but whoa!
Yeah, and going back to the video games, I don't know if you remember this game. I think it was on Super Nintendo, Star Fox.
Yeah, no, I remember Star Fox.
I love that game.
I never played it myself. I played Spyro.
Okay,
that's the old
dragon,
game that I played.
Okay,
but
purple dragon.
no,
Yeah.
I do know Star Fox. Yeah,
That was one of my favorites. And then I cannot remember. I mean, of course, we played the Duck game all the time too.
Oh, Duck Hunt.
Yeah,
Yeah.
played that all the time back down there. Trying to think of some older games. I mean, I loved all the WWE games like No Mercy, WrestleMania, all those ones.
Yeah, I think my favorite game from my childhood is probably Spider-Man 2.
Okay.
It was so well made, and it was very
I remember
fun.
it was only on PlayStation though, wasn't it?
That one, no. That one was actually on all consoles because I don't think it was like Sony exclusive. Now all the Spider-Man games are on PlayStation because it's owned by Sony.
Right.
Which is one of the main reasons why people buy PlayStations, because the new Spider-Man games are mint.
Yeah, I don't have a PlayStation. I have an Xbox, so I don't.
Yeah, no, they're very good.
And I don't play that much anymore. I mean, like right now, I play Battlefield. I think we talked about that too, and NCAA just because it's came out.
Yeah. What is your favorite sports game? Because you keep saying you're wanting to dodge that, but what is your favorite sports game?
NCAA.
NCAA.
Yeah, it was the most fun I had as a kid playing that. And you get your dynasties together, and you'd be recruiting against all your friends and trying to beat them and win a national championship. It was fun, man. It's way different than what it is now. Like, I've done the recruiting on there, and I've tried to do it, and I mean, it's similar to the old way, but it's also a little bit different. And I feel like it's harder. I feel like you don't get like all the 5-star recruits like you normally did. And of course, I'm playing with Carolina. I mean, a huge Carolina fan. I won't pick anybody else other than Carolina.
Understandable.
But it's a lot harder. And they just did an update on it. I played last night for a little bit, and man, I had it on like All American, which is. There's one more difficulty, which is Heisman above that. And I feel like I was getting my ass beat by teams that I should be beating. And I was like, what is going on, man? I can't do anything. All I could do was run the ball, and I couldn't throw it. And I was just like, okay, this is stupid. Why am I playing this game? I'm not very good. But I did this weekend, before they did that update, I played this kid on – he had to be like a 12-year-old. He had to be.
Oh, was he on the mic just shit
talking?
Yeah,
just shit talking. And – I ended up beating him 96-0. 96-0. He threw like 6 pick sixes in a row.
That's funny.
And I was just like, I took a picture of it and sent it to Ricky. I said,
That's funny.
Because it was, and I had sent him to Vince Vaughn. When I don't know if you saw the movie with him and Jennifer Aniston, the breakup or whatever.
I don't think so, but I know it.
But he's sitting on the couch playing the video games, and he's playing Madden with a kid on. He says, "I'm 12 years old," and Vince Vaughn's going over there like, I don't know if you got a big enough TV over there. You see this ass whooping that's going on? And he's like, congratulations, you beat a 12-year-old. And and Vince Vaughn goes, yeah, well, I live in the real world where I got to pay bills and shit too. So you get to play this game all the time.
That's funny.
But yeah, that's what I felt like playing him.
No, like honestly, you take the victories going against
Look.
12-year-olds. I mean, like a lot of I mean, we talked about this in the first episode. A lot of these kids are freaking nuts on these games because they play them all the time.
They're ridiculous.
Some of them are like really good.
And I'm like, dude, I watch Beckham. He's gotten big into Minecraft right now. And I watch him play it.
My little sister's big on that.
Yeah.
And every time I watch her play, she's like, "Hey, look at this like infrastructure that I made with working elevators." I'm like, "What?"
And my son is 5 years old over here building houses with Minecraft, and he plays another game called Wobbly Life. It's like where he goes and does like chores essentially. I'm like, all right, yeah.
Can you do that in the actual
I need
house?
you to do this right now, dude. What are you doing?
Yeah.
You don't listen to me whenever I need you to do chores.
Yeah, that's funny. But all right, so before we go to like a quick little commercial break, is there any other like main games that you want to? Oh, there was one more that I wanted to point out.
All right.
One of my new favorite games, and I think this might actually take my top spot. Hopefully, Wukong actually gets up there because I'm loving it so far. But a recent game I've played and I loved it so much. It was Ghost of Tsushima.
Never heard of it.
Really solid game. It is. If you ever want to play like the best samurai game ever, Ghost of Tsushima. It is so good. It's based in a time where this island called Tsushima is being taken over by Mongol Empire, and you play as. It's been a second since I played it, so his name's actually escaping my mind. But he's Sakai, Lord Sakai. He is one of the like head families, part of the head families, and he's was raised by his uncle because his father died in battle. But he was raised to be a samurai and to like follow a code of honor. But when the Mongol Empire were attacking, the code of honor, he had to break it because he needed to, like, it basically was just him starting out because they ended up going to war. It was like 80 samurai versus like a whole army, and they had like a one final stand and they lost. Mongol Empire kind of took over the whole country, and his first name was Jin, that's right. So Jin Sakai, you have to go and basically take all these bases back, kind of like Far Cry setup, where you got to like basically take everything back, liberate it. And the reason why he has to break his code is because samurai are meant to face their opponents straight on. You're not supposed to hide in the shadows. Yep. You do in this game. That's why you're later on in the game you're known as the Ghost of Tsushima. And you basically break your code of honor to sneak and do stealth kills and assassinations. But you still have a lot of samurai style things you can do. When you go up to a base to to kill everybody, take it back, you can either go up and sneak your way through, or you can go up and you have this option called standoff, where you literally like jump out, go to the front gate, and say send your best man, and they send somebody to you, and then you have to hold down triangle, and it's a timing thing, and then you let go, like you and your the opponent's just standing there. And as soon as they like move to attack, you let go, and then you like kill them in one shot. And then like you basically fight everybody else head on. Super samurai style. It's so good. It's so fun. The story is freaking amazing. Like fantastic story. The DLC was super fun. I recommend beating the game before you do the DLC because it was freaking difficult. But it's just a solid game. Absolute solid game. Every time there's been a lot of games I played lately where I start it, it's fun, I get into it, but I can't finish it. That one, I couldn't get enough of it. As soon as I finished, I started doing all the side quests. I started doing all the DLC and all the side quests on that. I tried to unlock. I practically 100% of the game.
Yeah, see, and that's kind of what I was talking about with Assassin's Creed. Odyssey, that I would play a game and then I would love it and then not finish it. Yeah. And then that was the only game that I really finished.
Yeah, you became like obsessed with it momentarily.
Exactly.
So. Yeah. All right.
We'll cut us out to a break.
Yep. Quick commercial break. We'll be right back. While Josh goes use the bathroom, I'm going to go ahead and tell you about today's sponsors. First of all, ERA Strother Real Estate. If you're looking for a good real estate company here in Fayetteville, Sanford, or surrounding areas, excuse me, call ERA Strother Real Estate. My boy Josh is a wonderful real estate agent himself. We have tons of great agents. If you're looking for a real estate firm, we have tons of training that is weekly training. We have access to CDI. And if you're a real estate agent who's looking for CDI training and you're not part of ERA, you can actually come here and contact Hampton Rutledge and see about signing up for CDI. So if you're looking for a great real estate company, ERA Strother Real Estate. All right, welcome back. So we just got done talking about a bunch of video game stuff, and now on to one of the next subjects. Let's go ahead and get it over with.
What, are you worried?
I don't like to talk about my political views. I usually don't, and just because I have views that are very different from a lot of people, because I'm not right or left.
Mm-hmm.
I'm very much in the middle, because I think the dumbest thing that you can be is an extremist.
Yeah, I agree.
Being like so far right that anything that happens to be like even close to being left, you're like absolutely not.
Yep.
And then people that literally go and they vote Democrat because they're Democrat.
Mm-hmm.
And they don't pay attention to anything else. They vote for that just because, I'm a Democrat.
You've been told to do that.
Always
Yeah.
vote Democrat.
Mm-hmm.
We will never evolve from that, and our two-party system is killing the country.
No, look, I am not far. I am right.
Mm-hmm.
Don't get me wrong.
Yeah.
But
no.
hey, I don't know what gave that away. But I see a lot of sides, and I'm willing to have conversations with people.
Yeah.
And I don't just close off
Yeah.
because of what my views are. I listen and hear it, but I don't mean I agree with it.
Mm-hmm.
And that's where I feel like we can be different as people. We can sit there and have conversations. We don't need to scream at one another to view our differences.
Okay, so how about this? Let's go through like the standard list of views on like the points that a lot of people are kind of left and right
Well, I mean,
about.
the biggest one right now is abortion. I mean, that's the biggest one.
Yeah, so for that one...
And I don't know if you want to talk about that because we're both not women.
I
get it.
Well, I can kind of like talk about the views that my... Because I've talked about that with my wife out of curiosity. Yeah. And so that is definitely a very touchy subject, because there is like... that is one that I can never really give a for sure answer on. Mm-hmm. This is why I hate it when people have like a full answer. Because first of all, I'm Baptist Christian, so of course like my natural answer would be like I'm not down for abortion. But then you also have some moments where it heavily depends. Like it's very situational. There is no perfect answer, because you have somebody who there's a married couple, mm-hmm. they know what they're doing, and they end up having a baby, getting pregnant, and it needs to be a collaborative effort for something like that. I think abortion is wrong for that point, because you guys are married, you know what you're doing,
mm-hmm.
But it also should never be one decision, because that's one thing where a lot of women say like my body, my choice. It's like, well, if you're married to your husband and you guys know what you're doing, and you're pregnant, he wants to keep it, and you're like, I don't care, and then you just go without talking to them, and then you get the baby aborted. I think that's messed up. Same thing, vice versa. Mm-hmm. A man should not tell a woman saying, "It's like, no, we're aborting the baby. I don't care what you say." That's terrible. Yeah, that's called a bad marriage.
Yeah,
and this is something that you guys need to talk about, because before, as a married man, before you get married, for the love of God, talk about kids. It is okay. Talk about that. Mm-hmm. Like, know what their views are, because if you really want kids and they don't, then that's a problem you need to figure out before you guys get hitched. It just is.
Oh, yeah. I mean, I've got two beautiful kids. I love them. I couldn't imagine not having them, mm-hmm. And the way that I see it is, whatever. I mean, I don't really – I feel like even if we weren't married and you go to have a baby, I feel like or go to have the abortion, I feel like I should have some say in it. Mm-hmm. Even though, whatever, my body, not my problem kind of thing is what they do. But you wouldn't have that if it wasn't for me.
Yeah.
And you see what I'm saying?
No. But then the part where it gets touchy is when I don't want to say it on the channel because it's just a very, very messed up subject, but when a woman gets pregnated by somebody who she absolutely did not want and is attacked, yes,
exactly.
And if she wants to get aborted, I will not say no.
Well,
absolutely not.
I'm
Go for it.
I'm 100%
Because
for
it's traumatic.
like rape, incest, any of that stuff that happens like this traumatic. Oh yeah.
I like how I was avoiding the word and you just. I was like, I love how I was trying to get my legs comfy. I was trying to avoid saying it, and you're just like.
I know we gotta switch this table up, dude. Like I cannot move. If y'all know how tight we are,
nice, dude.
I am so squeezed in here. I'm not a small human being. I might look like it, but I'm not.
Yeah, but when it comes to a subject like that, I'm like, yeah, like who am I to say? It was like, no, you should get. It was like, that kid's gonna grow up, and every time you look at them, it's gonna remind you of the most traumatic moment in your life.
Yeah.
And who am I to say that is like?
Look, there are certain situations where I believe it is okay. Like I'm not completely against it, but I'm not for it either.
Yeah.
You know, especially late term abortions.
Yeah.
I'm definitely not for those.
Yeah. So it's just
it's a touch and go subject, and I understand it, but. And it don't need to be in politics, in my opinion.
Yeah, it's just one of those moments where it's like, I hate that so many people have like a for sure 100% answer on it. It was like, oh yes, absolutely, or no, absolutely not.
Exactly.
And like
there's
for
no
me, it's just like
it's. There's no open-minded to anything. It's either yes or no. Yeah. Now, if you see a lot of red right now, I'm burning up. It's so.
Oh yeah, it is warm in here. So you said that they're going to be fixing the AC units.
Yeah, so we got the AC units to be fixed. That's why if you see us burning, I feel like I'm sweating like crazy right now.
Well, all the lights, the sun. But dude, it feels so nice today.
It is cooler outside. It's cooler outside than it is in here.
Look at that fake autumn right now.
I know.
Oh, it's gonna be great. We're getting there. Best season of all, fall. But anyway,
yeah. But we'll get off the abortion topic because that's not.
Yeah, let's talk about like another political.
Well, yeah, so that's the big one right now.
Yeah. So what's the other one, like gun control or
gun control? For me, it's more. I want to feel safe. I want closed borders where they look. I've traveled the world. I've been to Germany. I've been to Italy. I've been all over Europe. I've been to the islands. I've been all over the United States. When we travel to other countries, they don't just let us in. Like you have to have your documentation. You have to do this stuff, and even to come back in, I feel like they're stricter on me as an American citizen coming back into the country than they are letting these people just cross the border. And I'm like, but I'm just saying, 13 million people have crossed our southern border. That's an outrageous number.
Yeah.
I mean, that is unexcusable and unacceptable.
But are we talking about gun control or border control?
I'm talking about border control.
Oh, I thought we were about to talk about gun control.
National security is where I really look at when I look at a person that's going to run for president or be a senator or be some local office.
So when it comes to border control, I think you're going to agree with me on this.
Okay.
If you were coming to this country to work, I would love everybody to come here. The people who I hate the most are actually people who are born here in this country. They don't work and they live off they pop out a bunch of kids and then just collect tax and food stamps on all of it, and they abuse the system.
Yeah.
Anybody who wants to come to the country to do that same thing, you're a terrible person. Anybody who wants to just come here, do absolutely nothing to benefit this country and to work, and they just want to abuse, because I love that stuff is put in place because it can help people who are really in need. But there are people out there who abuse the system and they refuse to work.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
That is one of the biggest problems with this country. But no, if we have tons and tons of immigrants who are coming here and just wanting to work, awesome.
Yeah, I mean, look, I'm not against anybody working, but they got to do it the right way.
You're talking about illegal crossing?
The one thing, it don't matter if you're not working or what, you're an American citizen.
Mm-hmm.
At the end of the day, you were born here. It is your right as an American citizen to do whatever you want.
No, I wish we could kick people out.
I know, but I do too. Trust me, I do too.
I wish this was like a BJ's membership. There's so many people here. I'm like, dude, please get out of this country.
All right,
we don't.
You're off the list.
You're off the list.
You're off.
You're literally drug dealers and all that stuff.
Yeah.
It's like, you're not doing anything to help this country. Please go.
Yeah. No, I'm not saying that everybody here, but I mean.
No, we have a lot of people here that suck.
Yeah, I mean, we do. But as they were American
People
citizens,
take freedom too far.
Yeah, they do. They were born here. That's their right. You know, you can't give somebody outside of our country more rights than somebody inside of it. Doesn't make sense. You know, like all these stuff that all these illegal immigrants are getting crossing the border, they get more than me.
What do you mean?
So they get free rent for 6 months. Okay. They get their own cards, cell phones. I mean, money, clothing. I mean, it's just outrageous. Like,
yeah, it's like stuff to kind of like help them like when they first come here. Well, you also got to keep in mind there are like that is really good for a lot of people who do come because there's a lot of people that actually come to this country with absolutely nothing. So that stuff is put in place to be able to help them start out. So that's nice.
Okay, so what's the difference between the people that came here from Europe and had nothing and came here and worked?
What are you talking about?
Like, so when everybody was coming to the United States, what do you say, and coming through New York and going through Ellis Isle and all that, and probably about like the 1930s, 1940s, around that time period.
Well, that was a long ass time ago, and I don't care anything that's beyond a century.
Come on, man. I mean, but what's the difference? I mean, they didn't.
That was a century ago, and we had new laws put in place.
I know, but they didn't get that. What makes them any different?
Because it was a century ago, and they didn't have that put in place. If they came over today, like the reason why is because that stuff is now put in place. That's the difference.
I see that, but so we're just going to hand out everything to people who come here?
Today?
We're not.
Yes.
We're not,
oh, dude,
why didn't you get something then?
I don't care. I don't. I have what I need.
I'm just asking.
Yeah, no, I have what I need. Well, the thing is, like, this country also likes to give handouts to a lot of people that are other than Americans for the fact that, like, another thing that's also a touchy subject. Yes, we want to help our allies, but we do give a lot of help and support and stuff outside of the country. And I don't know everything that comes into that, and I'm not going to act like I do. One reason I don't like to talk about politics is because I'm very ignorant to the subject. So there's a lot of stuff that people don't.
Either.
Yeah.
I'm no expert, but I mean,
I bet people are watching at home watching. It's like, yeah, obviously.
Yeah, these dumbasses.
Yeah, no, like, if you don't like what we're saying, that's perfectly fine.
I don't really care.
You're entitled to your opinion. We're entitled to ours, and that's okay.
And this is our conversation.
Yeah, and like, and anything that here's the thing. I have a lot of friends who are like completely on the other point of like what I'm saying. Like people who are like absolute extremists. I know some people who are extreme leftists. Some people are extreme rightist, but they I'm still friends with them. Yeah, I don't care.
Look,
if you think differently, okay.
Your political view should have nothing to do with the person.
Yeah, like you can still be, like you can have great political views and be an asshole, and you can have very weird, wonky political views. Like, okay, one thing I'll proudly say, I don't agree with anybody who thinks it's like we need to defund the police. You have no idea what you're talking about.
That's the stupidest thing I've ever heard.
Yeah, but if I have a friend of mine who says we need to defund the police, I'm like, you're an idiot, and then I'll just still go out and eat with them. I don't care.
Yeah.
I'll just like I like to rag on my friends, so I will continuously rag on them.
Look, if you can't rag on like another guy, like as far as our guy relationships, we can't be friends.
Oh, guys or girls, like I think everybody needs to be like brutally honest and rag on each other.
Yeah, I mean, it creates I don't know, it's more of a personal relationship when you can actually
more honest. It's more personal. Yeah,
you know, just have fun with it, like just like we're having now. Even though we disagree on things, it doesn't matter. We're still going to do this podcast.
Yeah, the people that I just absolutely can't hang out with are ones who like are very, very, very sensitive to like so many random subjects. Like let's go with the most basic level. If you're a sore loser when it comes to just losing a simple game, I hate you.
You're already going to be a nightmare.
I already don't like you. I'm like, that tells me enough about your personality. You're probably irritating to hang out with, and you probably just cry over a bunch of stupid stuff.
But speaking of winning and losing, pretty sure I'm the winner.
We had a bowling event recently.
Yeah.
He scored 160, which
161. Thank you very much.
Was it 161?
Yeah.
Oh well, I told Matt 160. My bad.
But better put that one on there.
That's right, that's right. You did 160, and then you did another game, and you got 161, and you wanted to make sure everyone knew.
Yeah.
So yes, you beat out. I think second place was Ken I think he got 155, something like that. You know that one young girl there was scaring me for a second. She got like two turkeys in the same thing, but I was like, oh man, she might beat you out, but her score came out to like 140 something because the rest of her scores
It was all like gutter
was
balls.
like terrible. It was like strike, like gutter, strike, gutter, strike, gutter, and I'm like, you were so close.
So this office is gonna be hearing this for a long time.
You're just gonna go around with your freaking $5 trophy. It's like, hello.
Look, it's gonna be sitting right here in the next episode.
All right, I'll bring my Ambassador of the Year trophy.
Look, athlete over here, baby.
Athlete. All right, we're getting off track. So back to.
But I have to tell you, I was so sore the next 3 days after that.
Oh, the bowling.
Yeah, I was so sore I couldn't even walk. Like my whole right side of my.
Yeah, my leg.
Yeah.
My
Oh no, it was the left. My left butt cheek was so sore, and then my right foot from planting.
Yeah, for me it was like my right hip or like my thigh, because when I bowl, actually no.
It's your left, because you're
it
right,
would be because I kept
right-handed.
it would be my left. Why was my right hurting? I think it's because I kept doing like a weird curtsy thing when I was bowling.
Well, I know my right
like the bowl
foot,
style.
My right foot was hurting like on the outside where I was planting my foot, and them damn bowling shoes.
Freaking Matt,
awful.
Matt almost broke his freaking finger because he was trying a new way to like throw the ball, and it like came out and kind of like bend his fingers backwards.
Well, it dropped the ball. Remember?
Yeah. Oh, it didn't hit his foot. He just but he did drop the ball, and like because he didn't get a good grip, and when it fell, it pulled his fingers back real quick. So thankfully, it didn't hurt his hand, because that was his writing hand. Well, he's an artist.
I was right next to him when it happened.
Yeah. I just heard like a loud bang, and he went, ow, and I was like, did you drop the ball on your foot? But
yeah, it was good though. It was good. We're getting off track, but that's all right. I'm the winner. Just
you're
everybody
the
know.
You're the winner.
Winner, chicken dinner.
Yep. So, any last political things that you want to go over before we cut to another break?
So, if I had one advice for you, and this is for anybody.
For me,
yeah. I mean, anybody that's young, like around our age, the best person. I know everybody's gonna say, "Oh, you're just right. You just want to tell me." J.D. Vance is somebody you need to listen to. I'm telling you, he really.
Here it comes for like my political thing.
All right, go ahead.
I have no idea who that is.
He's Trump's vice president nominee.
Oh, okay. So he got rid of the Mike Pence guy who thought you can cure gayness with electrotherapy.
Yeah. So I don't know that.
Seriously, Mike Pence thought that.
I don't know that.
Or at least that was going around.
I don't really know Mike Pence. I don't know anything about it.
Yeah.
I really don't.
I just know a lot of people thought that guy was crazy.
I just knew that he was Trump's vice president. He never spoke. I never saw him, and nothing.
Yeah, honestly, I just heard a lot of people meme on him. I actually never really heard him speak myself.
I've never heard him speak one time.
Yeah.
But J.D. Vance, he's got the movie on Netflix. They can give you a little background on him.
Okay.
He's got the book. He's a #1 bestseller as well.
I will say #1 bestseller books just.
It don't matter.
It never impresses me.
It doesn't matter.
There's so many people who like that just watch.
I just
Oprah.
say
you see so many books. It's like if you have a #1 selling book,
it doesn't mean anything because
it means nothing.
It could be just for that category or whatever it is.
I've seen like self-help books that are terrible that are #1 selling. I'm like, shut up.
Exactly. Well, anyways, but he did pretty good because it became a movie.
Okay.
And they got it on
like a documentary or like
no, it's a movie.
It's like an autobiography movie type thing. Oh, okay, cool.
That they did about him. Don't ask me what it's called. I can't remember off the top of my head. I've heard it like a million. It's like Hillbilly Elegy or something like that. I can't remember.
Okay.
But I've never seen it.
Call me interested. So
yeah. But he's from Ohio, Marine. He's got a great background story. He was raised by his grandmother.
Okay.
She kept like 19 guns in the house.
Okay.
But it's pretty funny, the story.
Fantastic story.
Well, the story he tells about going to when he was being recruited or the recruiter for the Marines coming to his house, and his grandmother telling him, if you step one foot in my house, I'm going to blow your foot off. Mm-hmm. And she loved it. Don't get me wrong. She loved the military, loved it, but she just didn't want him to go because it was during Iraq.
Oh,
So
gotcha.
that's why she
No,
was the way,
that's
that's the way
understandable.
she was.
No, a lot of mothers are very protective.
very
of their
sensitive on
kids
that,
going.
on that
No,
subject.
understandable.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But it's a great story.
you don't want
funny,
your kids going to
yeah,
war.
funny story. But it came from nothing. You know, a lot of his, I guess, his mom or his dad and all them were pretty big in drugs.
Mm-hmm.
So, and she was recovered. She was at the RNC with him.
Cool.
And it was like
Cool.
20
Awesome.
years clean.
Yeah, awesome.
when she was there, and he recognized her and all that stuff. Just a down to earth dude. I think everybody should just listen to him one time.
Okay. Very cool.
Um,
Yeah. So you heard it here first, like, or maybe not first, but yeah. So you said JD Vance.
JD Vance, yeah, and
Give it a
and if you
listen.
like somebody
Try it.
with a little bit of backbone and somebody that's going to go and step outside the box a little bit, I like him because he's not scared.
Mm-hmm.
Like showing up to Kamala Harris's Air Force Two, he comes, he says, "I just want to get a good look at my plane and answer these questions since she won't do it."
That's funny.
So I thought it was pretty funny and pretty cool that he did that.
Yeah, that's
Sounds
funny.
like something that I would do, so that's why
Gotcha.
it makes sense. It resonates with me.
Yeah, but
But yeah, I mean, other than that, I'm pretty good on the politics. I just
for the subject.
yeah, I mean,
Okay.
like
Yeah.
that's good.
Yeah.
I think we just
Yeah. Oh, one last opinion for gun control. Man, I love if we could just like go back to ancient times where we all just had to carry around swords. It'd be awesome. Not because I have a huge opinion on gun control, just because I like swords.
you can still have swords.
Yeah, but I want to no. you can't carry like a giant sword throughout.
Well,
the
you can't
streets.
carry
No.
it with you.
No.
But you can have it in your home.
You know, I heard something one time that like
Just carry a pocket knife.
nunchucks like fell under the Second Amendment. I don't know if that's true. I heard that somewhere. I'm
What?
like, I hope that's true. Like no, like
You can keep nunchucks.
yeah, I don't know if that's actually true, but I heard a while ago it's like if you have a pair of nunchaku, you can actually falls under the Second Amendment. I'm like, cool.
Look, and the thing with guns is,
Probably
man.
not true.
I mean, I was raised around guns my entire life. I would never.
Yeah, well, I grew up in a military home.
Yeah, so I mean, we had guns all the time around us, and hunting, and we had all types of rifles, handguns. It didn't matter, crossbows, anything you could think of, we had it.
It's always weird because like I understand, like having the right to protect yourself. Like when I go to Waffle House and I see some guy with like a vet hat on and he has like an open carry on
You
the
feel
side.
safer.
I actually do feel safer.
You feel safer.
And then now the problem with gun control is that there are, I believe that the manufacturer of any automatic weapon, it's weird because I don't know where people would get these weapons to begin with. Because like if you're getting,
You can just go to Dick's.
No. I mean like like a Uzi, like completely illegal automatic firearm because those are all banned
Yeah.
because of mass shootings. Understandable. I don't know how people would get their hands on them, but it commonly would be through
Wait.
legal means. So if we put any more restrictions, I don't know if that would actually do anything. But
Yeah.
I could be wrong, and maybe like putting more restrictions makes it harder for people to sell stuff on the black market.
Look.
It's a subject I don't talk about because I don't know. I don't know how
There's
where it
nothing-
comes from. I don't know how it goes.
Look, they're not going to buy back any of my guns. That's not going to happen. I'm not going to sell my guns to the government. That's what they want.
Yeah, well,
That's not happening.
Well, that I don't even know why that's a subject because like people say that the government's going to come and take our guns. It's like no, they will not because
Yeah.
that will cause a civil war.
Yeah.
That will not happen because lots and lots
Well,
of
that's
people
what they
will
want to do.
just
Is the buyback program. That's what it's called.
Yeah, I know, but there's a lot of people who are like very gun ho about their guns, and they're very. I'm not saying you are. Actually, no, probably you.
Yeah.
There's a lot of people who is shoot first, ask questions later. If somebody comes in and is like, "We're here to buy your gun," you're gonna pull it out on us and try it.
Yeah.
And honestly, I hope they hire a bunch of salesmen to do this. Like, no, I don't want
Yeah.
politicians doing it. I want salesmen to come up and it's like, I'll get you a great deal right here, and they like literally give a great deal.
You better be giving me $1 million for all my guns, and then that still won't matter because I still want to have protection.
I'll give up a gun for $1 million. I'll just freaking booby trap my house.
But is it
It's
worth?
funny. It's actually illegal.
But
to
is
booby
it
trap your
worth?
house.
Is $1 million worth giving up your rights?
Yes.
See, for me, it's not. It's not. It's not for me though.
No, I don't know. $1 million, $1 million. Here's the thing: if they give me a crap ton of money, I would just be like, cool, and then I would just like go live in the Netherlands for the rest of my life.
Why the Netherlands?
Because it's really...
I would never want to go there. I've been to Amsterdam and all that stuff. I would never want to live there.
It has like the highest quality of life. Crime rate is almost zero, if not zero.
Yeah, but you know
it's
why?
such a great vacation place. Nobody goes there. It's so nice and peaceful, and you get to just be to yourself.
If I'm not mistaken, I could be completely wrong because I'm not a computer. I don't have Google in my head.
Okay.
But I believe in the Netherlands, it is legal to go ahead and get heroin and everything straight. Like you go to a doctor, and they'll give it to you.
Dope.
If I'm not mistaken. I'm not mistaken. I'm not 100% sure on that.
If that is true,
But I know one of
cool.
those countries.
I'm not
over
gonna
there-
do it.
Yeah. I think it could be Switzerland. I don't really remember which one it is.
But here's the thing. Like obviously, like we need like there's a huge drug problem everywhere, but
I mean, we
primarily
can
in this
see.
country.
I mean, we can walk out our door. And see it. I mean, it's crazy.
Yeah, like there's too many issues in this country that I don't believe any politician has like the absolute right answer to everything. You can't have the right answer to everything. It's absolutely impossible.
Well, no, not only that, but and if you're thinking Trump's going to change what's going on in your city, probably not going to happen. You need to look at your local government.
Oh yeah, no, that actually, I 100% agree with you on that. Like, look, yes, president can matter, but at the end of the day, they really are just a face of the country, which is one reason why I didn't agree with everything for Barack Obama, but I do miss the fact that he at least looked professional. Trump is very honest. He does not seem professional because he's very hot-headed, and Biden. So there was a lot of...
Bless his heart.
Yeah, there was a lot of things that was unfortunate with. Like, I genuinely think we need to have, like, an age limit on people who can serve in office. I don't want somebody who I'm... Like, I'm very sorry if you guys are, like, a big fan of Biden or whatnot, but it was very...
What was that?
Of Biden.
Oh, Biden.
Yeah,
Biden.
It was
I
just...
thought you said binary one. I was like, what?
No, Biden.
What the hell is that?
But it was very concerning having somebody in the office that I'm like, I think he might die soon. Like, there's a couple times I'm like, is he okay?
Yeah.
And I was just honestly just worried. And just seeing that as is like, this is the guy who's like the highest position in, politically highest position in the government. And at the end of the day, it really is just kind of a face, because the main thing that we need to have restrictions on are like term limits in the Senate, because it's just ran by a bunch of people who
100% I agree
are
on
just
that.
keeping it exactly the same.
The Senate and the Congress should have term limits on them, just like a president.
Age limits, term limits.
It should not be. You should not be a lifetime politician.
Yeah,
that
you
should not be a thing.
Because the country will never evolve.
Yeah.
It won't. And I hear a lot of people saying, it's like, oh, well, we just got to wait for all these people to die out and a new generation is going to help us evolve.
What are we going to wait?
Maybe
30 more years?
It will happen very slowly because
literally,
Lindsey
Graham,
if they're getting out of office,
Yeah.
they're already like training people to think
Yeah.
the way they do to take over.
For instance, I'm a Republican. I do not like Lindsey Graham. He's a Republican in South Carolina. He's been doing it for years. As long as I can remember that I've been born, he's been a senator.
Yeah.
Like, that is ridiculous.
Yeah. Basically, like, just the country will never, like, no country will ever evolve if the same people are in power for more than a decade.
Yeah, I mean, it's absolutely ridiculous. I don't agree with it at all.
And
that's always a big thing for me.
Yeah, it's really weird that we have that term limit for presidency, but we have that. I don't even know if we have a term limit on anything else. We probably do, but
Look, I don't even think the mayor has term limits on him. I'm almost positive
Maybe?
on that.
I have no idea.
At least here. I mean, we got term limits on governors.
No, they have like a lot of re-elections for mayors, so yeah.
Yeah, but he can keep running. This is like his third or fourth time. The same mayor we've had.
I'll look that up later.
I'm not sure. Look it up.
But yeah,
Look it up.
But
I could be wrong.
Another reason why I don't like talking about politics is there are so many times I'm like, I don't know what I'm talking about. So now I'm doing all of these commercials all at once because my boy Josh is still using the bathroom. He's been in there for exactly 3 hours, 17 minutes, and 42 seconds. So right now I'm going to go ahead and tell you about another one of our sponsors, Lindella Mortgage. If you're looking for a great mortgage, Lindella Mortgage. I didn't know if that coffee cup actually said it. I'm pretty sure it did. So, Lindella Mortgage is our in-house mortgage company here. The mortgage lender agent awesome person, lady, is Sylvia DeBaca. She's a wonderful, wonderful lady and very, very intelligent, very good at her job. And her information is going to be right here at the bottom. You can go ahead and contact her and learn more about your lending options. All right, welcome back, guys. So I just want to go ahead and mention that we have been doing this podcast a little longer than expected. I did know that our political conversation was going to go longer than intended. We did talk about a lot of comic stuff last week, so we won't go ahead and cover that subject today.
Yeah.
But what kind of subjects do you want to talk about next time?
Ooh, man, I don't know. I just got back from the bathroom. I had to pee like a Russian racehorse in a Kentucky Derby with a glue truck found behind that thing. I had to give you that one before we left.
All right. So any crazy subjects that you can think of that you want to kind of
Off the
prepare
top
for?
of my head, no. That's why we just go in here and we just spitball.
Yeah, we'll figure it out
I
next
love it.
week. But
I mean, look, I'm pretty balls deep right now in fantasy football and getting ready for college football and NFL and all the sports coming back on.
okay, well in that case, next time maybe we can talk about just a bunch of events coming
Yeah,
up and things for
absolutely.
like into the fall season and
Yeah.
into the winter and all that stuff. Because football season is starting back up, right?
Yeah,
Like what, fall?
Like next week,
Next week?
next weekend.
Shoot. All right. Well, we can go ahead and talk about stuff like that. I'm not
Yeah.
big on football. My parents are, but
We can figure it out.
Yeah, we'll figure it out.
I mean, we'll get it together.
Yeah, I might actually be able to learn a thing or two. But all right. Well.
Oh, before we leave, have I told you the golf story yet?
Oh shoot! No. That's right. You wanted to tell that. Go for it.
All right. So this is a joke, actually. I don't know if you've heard it yet.
I like jokes.
All right. So you ready?
Yep.
So Moses, Jesus, and an old man are out playing golf.
All right. It starts this way.
Yeah. All right. So Moses goes up. He hits his tee shot.
Okay.
All right. Ball's heading towards the water. Moses runs over to the water, parts the water, hits his ball up onto the green. Jesus looks at him, says, "Nice shot, Moses." Says, "Thanks, Jesus." Next up is Jesus. Jesus comes up, hits his tee shot, heading straight for the water.
Okay.
Jesus runs up, ball lands up on the water, on top of the water. Jesus walks on water, hits the ball up onto the green. Moses looks at Jesus, says, "Nice shot, Jesus." He says, "Thank you." Old man comes up, hits it, way left.
Mm-hmm.
Gust of wind comes. Ball goes down into the water. Fish grabs the ball, jumps out of the water. Eagle grabs the ball out of the water, out of the mouth of the fish, drops it on the green. Squirrel comes by, nudges it in the hole. Jesus looks at the old man. "Nice shot, Dad." And we'll leave you at that.
All right, that's funny. I like that.
Right.
That. All right, well, thank you guys so much for tuning in to Off Track, and we'll catch you next time.
See ya. It was good, right?